Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is a unique assignment. 5 weeks, 30 matches, 20 different team combinations, where rivals become teammates and teammates become friends. Tonight, medals will be awarded, honors conferred, and a title won. It's time to find our champion. Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball Champions Week, presented by Baden. And forget Champions Week, this is Champions Night. The final night of action begins with Team Drews taking on Team Kingdon Rishel from the Arizona Athletic Grounds here in Mesa, Arizona, our home for the last 5 weeks. A look at our leaderboard. We're going to impact it one last time. Brittany Abercrombie and Badania de la Cruz Mejia. That two-woman race continues for the Ultimate Championship. Behind her, nothing is clear yet. Morgan Hens and Maddie Kingdon Rishel locked in a pitched battle along with others for the 3rd and 4th spots. Welcome back once again, and for the final time in an evening, Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael. Here we go again, Key. We don't have a clear picture of exactly how the leaderboard is going to play out, but what we do know is for sure this match will impact that leaderboard.
100%, and we have two captains that got here in very different paths to this captain's chair. However, their performance tonight will determine if one of them goes home with some hardware. We saw Purple struggling a little bit this week. Blue was dominant to start, but they've also been dismantled. So for me, whichever captain has their personal best tonight will get that medal.
We'll keep the focus on the captains. Team Drews yet to pick up a win here in 2024. It's been a struggle.
It has been difficult going for Danny Drews, but she's back in the captain's role. Still winless this season, but it's her last chance to go out with a bang. The outside hitter has been a shining example of a great teammate, a stellar athlete, and all the top-tier qualities that you want in an Athletes Unlimited player. But her team has struggled to find the balance this week. So if, and only if, everything goes absolutely perfectly for Purple tonight, she has a chance at a medal. So the question is tonight the night that Danny's fate as a captain will finally change?
On the other side, Maddie Kingdon Rishel, a couple more wins, she would have been in the championship conversation because her stats have been off the chain.
I know, Maddie Kingdon's story has been incredible. Stat points, MVP points, all of that on par with the best players in the league, but she just couldn't get those wins in the first weeks. And now, with a solid sweep on Friday and her own stats continuing to shine, Maddie is rightfully in contention for a top 4 spot and a medal. But there are question marks in her opposite spot, in her outside spot too. So she will need Maddie's Patties to show up big time tonight.
Maddie's Patties, those supporting cast players certainly playing a huge role in the captain's rise or fall on the leaderboard. Match number 29 of 30 in an Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball season about to get underway with Sydney Hilly at the line for Team Kingdon Rishel. Off balance right away is Team Drews. That one thrown back by the now starting out opposite, Sheridan Atkinson, and the ball's tipped over the top by Maddie Kingdon. I asked her about last night, and she said that they had just failed to take advantage of opportunities, failed to convert in transition.
Yeah, and it was a struggle because we know she's getting points. She's been getting a lot of stat points all season, but she didn't have the backup as well. So Nunaviller was a little quieter than we're used to seeing. Willow Johnson didn't put up her numbers. So as Maddie Kingdon herself said, yeah, take advantage of opportunities. They did not do it. Yeah,
we'll see if they can continue to generate those chances off of good block touches as well as digs, which they did in the match yesterday. Both these teams have had a rough go of it. Team Drews coming in at 0-2, a 75-55 loss to Team De La Cruz Mejia, who will play against Team Abercrombie later for that championship as that ball finds its way to the floor. On the other side for Team Kingdon Rishel, they come in with a 1-1 record, but they were swept by Team Abercrombie last night, 75-56.
So both teams has felt a sweep. This is revenge night for me.
Yeah, Team Drews still looking for their first set victory. And it might help if your opposite is playing like that. Sheridan Atkinson, her first start comes in the final match.
She was one of the big question marks. So in the first night, she got in the 3rd set, and it was a little bit too late. Heidi Casanova not performing in the offense. So yesterday, we saw her a little earlier. Still didn't quite get the numbers we wanted, but if she can go off for the Purple side, that will be a huge contributing factor.
Yeah, a few errors kind of hurt her numbers. That ball is tipped over the top. Atkinson can't get there. She had 7 kills on 19 attempts. That's a pretty nice night in terms of just kill percentage, but her efficiency, due to 5 errors, way down.
Yeah, and that's something you're going to struggle with, I think, if you don't get a lot of playing time throughout the season. You don't really have time to kind of work through those jitters, those first time on the court errors, and it feels like the first time, even if you're a professional player and you've played for years, it's a brand new team.
Collision, Willow Johnson trying to take advantage, and she does. A couple of balls falling back to back in front of 55. 4-2, Team Kingdon Rishel off to a good start.
I'm keeping my eye on Willow Johnson as well. We talked about her a lot yesterday. She didn't have a great night on Friday, and she told me that she never has a good night on Friday, especially with a new setter every time. So she thought she'd have a much better match yesterday. It was slightly better, but I think we can still get a lot more out of her.
Looks like she'll get an opportunity here. Goes over the top. Namaris Velez Augusto with the dig. Libero for Team Drews, and Drews converts.
One of the other problems was it seemed like the purple side yesterday were just swinging blindly. We know that the orange side had a fantastic block put up, and they had some phenomenal numbers, but Danny Drew's team were just not being clever with their attacks.
It's our Tom Com subs in to serve, and she will play in the right back. And that ball is hit wide by Willow Johnson. You had mentioned her numbers. Errors hurting Willow's efficiency. A little bit up and down. She misses that one. In fact, both these teams coming off a pretty rough hitting performances. Each was blocked 13 times last night, and a total of 15 hitting errors for Team Kingdon Rishel. Really hurt their percentage, and back to back, it looks like errors going both ways. No, a touch called. Danny Drews gets the touch. Team Kingdon Rishel hit just .050 last night as a group.
And it's interesting because with someone like Nunaviller, who's typically one of those players who kind of chips and rolls, and she's more of a clever offensive player, she was falling victim to those big swings into the block as well.
Gets back-to-back attempts here, tips over the top. Tom Com with the defense, and a second contact call. No argument from the cage on that set. That one rolled off the bottom of her thumbs.
Yeah, middle's not known for our setting prowess.
Your all-middles league is going to be a real adventure.
Yeah, Molly and I, the Middles League of America, it's happening.
Sounds vaguely like a superhero club.
Invitation only, Kevin. Yeah. Yours will be in the mail, lost somewhere.
Forever. All right, Team Kingdon Rishel on the strength of that miss there. For the moment, they hold the lead, but we do have 2 captain's challenges per team per set. And Danny Drews has used her first.
And at first glance of that swing, it did look pretty high. It's off of Molly McCage. She likes to swing deep, but she's already coming from such a high point. So I think the question is whether the ball was in or out, not on a touch. And for me, at first glance, it was out.
And on second glance, Key, what do you say?
In.
I think it catches just the edge of the line.
I think it does, just a little bit there.
We could ask Joe Trinzi. He's checking in the booth with us here, facilitator for Team Drews.
Sneaking over the shoulder. Hey, we've got the best view. No? We get all the replays. So does the viewer at home. So even the coaches and the facilitators and the captains sometimes want to see what we have.
Yeah, ball initially called out. Of course, 2 challenges per team per set. There is Joe Trinzi, one of our 4 facilitators, playing important roles in helping the captains construct their teams as well as run practices. There's Dave Rubio on the other side. Longtime Arizona head man. We also have DJ Collins Parker and Thomas Robson involved this year. They've done an excellent job with the athletes, with like Maddie Kingdon's situation where she is sitting in the captain's chair for the first time.
Yeah, and with her former coach, that's a phenomenal way to be on week 5, to be in a comfort zone, because sometimes this facilitator captain's role can be difficult to navigate, even in week 5, which seems like the end of a long season. If you're a first-time captain, kind of discovering how to be a captain takes a little bit of time. So to have somebody on her side that she knows well will be a comfort.
That ball confirmed out, so Key goes 0 for 1 on her challenges. And we continue here in set 1.
Can't get a break over here.
Dig and another opportunity. Here's Nunaviller. A little more vertical, straight down the line. A charging Valentine Anderson keeps it alive. She'll go back to the net. They'll set over into the middle, and Maddie Kingdon finds the painted area.
How about that defense, Natty Valentine Anderson? Well, first it comes off Nutsara, and that's a good high ball, but the diving, sprawling out. I don't know if you could see our faces behind that, but I was heavily impressed.
Cage hangs in to pass that ball. A little bit of confusion there. Nunaville are forced to tip. Another beautiful dig from Lake. She's been on point this weekend. That tip off the block and long into the court. Defenders unable to get it. 8-5 now.
Oh, and that's frustrating for the purple side as well, because two defenders were in the right position. So it starts with that Mary Lake dig, and she gets it in a good spot. And I think it's a good decision as well by Maddie to go for that tip, but there's a scrappy defensive mindset on the purple side. Gotta let him get that.
Hilly with the dig there on the tip. Nunaville are off the net. Keeping Team Drews off balance. A composed offense comes right back from Team Kingdon Richel. Drews again, got it.
So an interesting strategy to have two setters on the court right now for Drews, but Nutsara and Nati both impressive defensive players. So I like having on maybe a setter in the backcourt in lieu of Atkinson or Heidi Casanova, just for that defensive part.
Bad pass this time. Opportunity for Team Drews. Can they convert it? Yes, they can. Molly McCage cross court.
Ooh, that's a spicy Molly McCage. We love seeing her get in the zone, and she loves a fast ball. She told me earlier on the season she was hoping to play with Nutsara for this week 5. She is with her, but it's Nati who gets her that fast ball. They have a similar style in terms of set.
Team's trying to trade runs here. That ball gets just past the defense.
I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Nunaville after her performance yesterday, where we just didn't get the best of what we typically get. We only got 4 points out of her. That was a huge missing link for the blue side, but if she can step it up, it'll be different.
Yeah, and that was on 32 attempts. You also get the defense when you have Brooke Nunaville. That was present. The jam there, good idea by Kingdon, but the block is better.
Good looking block there by McCage. She's in a good spot. She knows that ball is tight, it's jammed up. Maddie doesn't really have a lot of options except just to push it into the hands.
McCage collects her league-leading and record-setting 39th block of the season. She does not get another dig to add.
Big swing inside the blockers. They're floating a little bit on Kingdon. Kingdon loves to get that angle going. I'd like to see the blockers maybe drop that hand, stay a little inside on her, force her to swing line.
Taylor Hanline trying to get her breath, coming back off a slight illness. Back in the lineup, good to see her returning for Team Kingdon Richel. She's had a season where she's been rising up the draft board. Nice dig there. Key Michael getting excited. Middle's defense not leading to points yet. And in fact, Team Drews able to side out.
I love Middle's defense. Imaginary extra points from the commentators is what you get when you are a Middle that plays defense.
What can you spend those points on? Are those redeemable for flights or goods or something? Can I get a discount at a hotel?
Those things are in the works.
Okay.
Sponsorship pending.
Yeah, we'll see how the partnerships play out. Outside. Mars Velez Augusto in that left back with the dig. Hoffman, big jam, a little bit deep. It has proven tough to get a kill all 5 weeks here in Mesa, Arizona. Page thrown back by Kingdon. How's your cardio? We're tied at 10.
Well, my cardio is not nearly as good as any of these players, but they are looking a little huff and puff after a long rally like that. What I like is that the communication's staying. as a priority, because sometimes that's something you might lose as the rally goes on, as the match goes on, but it has to be a priority for these players.
That one banged right off the head of Lauren Page. Field goal successful for Jenna Rosenthal. The Wisconsin native perhaps would have liked to have seen better results yesterday in the rain from her team. That'd be the Packers' key.
Gotcha. Football.
American football.
Sport where you don't play with your feet.
As George Washington said.
What's on the board, Kevin? Don't dare let that go past without telling us.
French fries on the board here in set one. So it's like a supersize because you have the set two. First set, 11-11. Rosenthal makes it 12-11 for her side. Neither team able to fully get away here in the first thus far. So we'll continue to follow if Willow Johnson can have her numbers go up. See how the opposite continues to play out here. And there it is, a swing and a jam from Sheridan Atkinson. I mentioned it in her first start, now for Team Drews. For Sheridan, you had to be really waiting on this one and perhaps disappointed you didn't start yesterday. That'll be her first kill.
Yeah, I'm sure she was disappointed. I think she came out with the right attitude and played her best. But I think a full match with her at the front court, and I like this changeup, taking her out for Dutsara in the back. I think use her to her strengths in the front, but don't have that weak spot in the back.
Lake with another excellent cover, and then a dig to follow. No, that one goes all the way out. Danny Drews off to a hot start.
And Drews was someone we talked about having to kind of take this match into her own hands. She has done in matches past, been one of the top point scorers, if not the. Question is whether her team will back her up, and ace serve will help.
Page on Friday had 2 aces. Here she collects her first. 14-12. Danny Drews, that hot start, 5 of 9 for the captain. You said the captain had to be good. She has been.
Ooh, that serve was good too. Flat, just dropping out of the air.
This time Lake scoops it. Rosenthal misses, as does Key Michael.
I missed my block.
I let one go by to see if you could play it, Key. Gone. All right, technical timeout. Team Drews all of a sudden with a little bit of a sprint. What will this mean on the leaderboard? What could it mean tonight in this match? Our own Savannah Collins will detail when we're back. Volleyball by Baden. A little week 5 captured still action for you. The intensity of Natalia Valentin Anderson on display here in our first match, 15-12. Team Drews with the advantage over Team Kingdon Rischel. What will all this mean? What hasn't meant? What will happen on the leaderboard? We have our points maven to break it all down. Savannah Collins at the whiteboard.
Well, it's truly coming down to the last day. So this is a category of things that I want you to take a look at. This is points to next rank. Obviously, Brittany Abercrombie in first doesn't have one, but Betty De La Cruz Mejia, 500 points behind. Morgan Hintz, 719 points behind her. So I want to narrow this down. Don't pay attention to this race, and don't pay attention to this race right here. Look at these numbers. 3rd place through 6th place. Morgan, Maddie, Lekator, and Danny. They are battling it out for the 3rd and 4th place medals in these final 2 games. This gap right here, just 61 points between Maddie Kingdon-Richel and Morgan Hintz right now, that is tight. And although 209 points might feel like a lot, it's not if some things that we've seen happen this weekend happens again tonight, a sweep. So check this out. Here's what makes this race fun. Here's gold, blue, orange, purple. Every single team is represented on the top of the leaderboard. So blue is going to match, or gold is going to match up tonight with orange. That's going to be game 2. And then let me get a second color going. What we've got right now, blue versus purple. These 2 teams matching up. As always, the win points are important. So when we see who can close these gaps, who can flip-flop, I really think it's going to come down to who wins these games. Wherever 3rd and 4th sits probably at the end of this game is where I would maybe even predict it's going to stay because of win points. We'll see.
We will see. And right now, it's Team Drews looking to get on the board with their first set victory of the weekend. They've run off 5 straight behind 2 aces from Lauren Page, as well as some other good plays. 16-12, starting to seize control. Against the flow set, block is there. Dunnaviller down the line, Valentine Anderson with it. Couple of good control blocks, and a straight back block covered by accident. Drew's soft tip, not far enough. Dunnaviller finally thrown back by Atkinson. She's starting to really be a factor in that right front.
100%, and we talk a lot about her in offense, but just that position kind of taking up space and out of system there. She is so tall, she can kind of just hang and grab that ball.
The 6-0 run continues. Page already with 2 aces in it. Johnson can't hit her way out of the phone booth. McCage next to Drews. Looks like McCage might have gotten a hold of that one. That'll give her plus 12, and she'll be rising up the leaderboard. Timeout called, 18-12, a 7-0 run to force that timeout by Team Kingdon-Richel. One of the great things about this league is the opportunity to get to know the athletes in between matches. They get to know one another. They have lives outside of volleyball. Danny Drews, she raises chickens.
Currently, I have 11 chickens. It started out at 21, but I've narrowed it down to 11. Just as a young child, I feel like I've always just loved having animals. So that feeds into that, you know, love, and yeah, it's just peaceful seeing them out there like in the yard, just pecking around. Just a fun, different aspect of life that helps me feel like I'm living a balanced life that's not only about volleyball.
Do we want to know how they narrowed it down? Quotes?
I don't think it's what you're thinking. I don't think it's from making a McChicken sandwich, but I think I love that she is such a well-rounded person, has interests that are not volleyball, and you'll see that all throughout this league. I mean, we've got players that are doing fantastic disciplines in their studies, players that are making their own clothes. I mean, it's just a really well-rounded group of humans, and it's just so fun to watch her in her element.
Yeah, Danny Drews, certainly one of the most physical and talented outside hitters we have in the league. And if you're a fan of the league, you want to make sure you're an Unlimited Club member. Go ahead and join. It's a free Unlimited Club membership. You can vote on your game MVPs. You can compete in AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. All you have to do is go to auprovolleyball.com and sign up. You have one more match, and then you got to keep up in the off season. See what players are coming back. See what the new player additions look like. We had a bunch of new player additions this year, totally changed the face of the league. Maddie Kingdon-Rischel in her first season on the leaderboard. She's been impactful already in that 4th place spot.
Yeah, I'm looking at a bunch of newbies here on this list. Remember, Monet is one of them, Tommy Thomas Alara, Kojima, Hoffman, all of them are brand new to this league, but making an impact. And that just tells you how the league is developing year after year. I mean, from when I was a player in 2021, I would not even get a look in on the court these days because the level just continues to grow, and we love to see that because the level of volleyball in the USA is following suit.
Indeed it is. Page to serve, a 7-0 run over the technical timeout as well as a team timeout from Team Kingdon. Another tough serve. Johnson tips it right to Page. Looking for 8, not yet. Atkinson right side. She is stopped in similar fashion. No tipping on this side of the net.
I think what Drew's team has done really well is strong serving right now. They've put the blue side in difficult opportunities to score. However, didn't convert that time, but I still like the aggressive nature from the end line. That's kind of one thing they can certainly hang their hat on right now.
Drew's flying in, that one scudded way long. Taylor Bruns Tegenrud at the service line. We've seen her time and again run some points for her team in this season. And she does so here with an ace on Namaris Velez Augusto. All of a sudden, Kingdon-Rischel is the aggressor.
And this is it, right? This is just your basic volleyball one-on-one. Whoever can serve the toughest can get the other team trying to find solutions, and to do it really tough and flat from one side of the court all the way to the other. This is a really tough serve to receive.
Deep corner to the other side of Namaris Velez Augusto. Hilly scoops, setter on the floor, delivers. Was there a touch? No. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's a good point you make of having that backup or that substitute server be also a setter, so she could add that speed. That wasn't a high out of system slow attack. That was pretty much in system looking offense.
Sarah Tomcom filling the same role as a potential captain's challenge being contemplated. We haven't seen one from Team Kingdon-Rischel in this first set. And Maddie Kingdon has yet to indicate whether she will issue a challenge or not.
Interesting. A lot of looks and questions and asking each other, but no actual challenge happening.
And now she does call for a potential touch. No touch was called initially. Team Kingdon-Rischel will look to see if there was one called. Julie Vogt and Katie Meyer are our officials. Katie Meyer in the R2 role here. She will head into the replay booth. Now she'll have access to a couple of additional angles and the ability to slow and zoom that we don't have here. But you're welcome to make the call again, Key.
I'm 0 for 1. I didn't see a touch. However, I like this challenge here from Kingdon because it might seem, okay, it's not that close, you know, that 4-point difference here, but think about the bigger picture, right? She is trying to get a medal. She needs to get as many points as she possibly can. Every single set is so crucial. So whether or not there's a touch here, the idea to have another look at it, I like.
Yeah, on the aggregate, you're wanting to win that overall. Those points could absolutely matter in the overall.
Yeah, imagine that purple sweeps blue right now. Danny Drews would be in a good position to overtake Maddie Kingdon-Rischel.
We're a long way from a potential sweep, but the start of it is on the board now. You're absolutely right. Team Drews with the lead as called, 19-15.
I'm always just working in hypotheticals, an imaginary world where every player is a middle and there's a sweep when you haven't even seen the whole first set yet.
Where every player's a middle. That sounds,
I
don't know about that world, Key.
You don't want to live in that world.
Imagine a world without ball control.
The game would be a lot faster.
Could have 1-hour game windows. That would be nice. Our leaderboard there will update live with the results of both sets, matches, as well as individual points. For instance, Key Michael, when she was incorrect on that first replay, she took a -8. See if she can get a +12 here. Key, did you have a touch on that replay or not?
I have no touch.
Okay. As called, no touch.
But again, as Savannah outlined earlier, if you have a look at this leaderboard right here, between Kingdon Rochelle, she's got 3,156. Drews has 2,868, so approximately 300 points between them. That is enough to overtake. That is certainly a doable feat here.
Yeah, if we look back at the last match and how the points played out, in terms of total points, Kingdon Rochelle's squad certainly struggled. They only had 432 team points. That is every point earned and awarded for the entire group of 11 players. And Team Drews had just 267 points, both of them suffering sweeps. All right, Key, you've gone +12. I think you're at +4 for the overall. Not sure how that's impacting the announcer leaderboard. We'll have to have that one flashed in later.
It's just the two of us in a race.
Yes, we're behind Savannah 400 points. We cannot catch Savannah tonight. Outside. Nunaviller gets it back. Trying to work off Valentine Anderson. Instead, it's a control block and a delivery to McCage. Tip, pancake goes awry, and another point goes on the board for Team Kingdon Rochelle.
That's a great up by Drews. We talk a lot about pancakes and how you have to get them on that full wrist. You got to get your entire hand under it. That was definitely clean, just sent in the wrong direction.
Johnson just over the cable. McCage got it. Molly McCage having an impactful set number 1.
That's pretty much a perfect MMC set. It's high, but it's fast, and you can watch it from the angle where we're sitting. It leaves Nati's hands, and it goes quickly, basically on an arc straight towards the antenna. I love it.
And I think, as you pointed out last night, it gives her options, too, as to where to pick it off. As Handline does her best McCage interpretation, and a middles battle has broken out here in Mesa.
Yeah, it's interesting, and any medals out there can attest to this, that you don't want the ball going too high, but you want it to be at its peak so you can go up and get it. And as you mentioned, the flatter it is, the more you can rip it off early, you can wait and then take it down the line.
Kingdon Rochelle with a nice reset there. She'll get it right back and swing at Valentine Anderson, who touches and covers. And her outside hitter hits it off the block and out of bounds.
I'm noticing a trend on the hitters on this side, the purple side, Drews' side. They are not swinging into the bottom of blocks. They are throwing and recycling. They are doing a lot of that work of covering each other that they weren't doing yesterday.
And line cross body. That ball is down. Kingdon Rochelle within reach, but the time is now. As we play 3 sets to 25, win by 2. Line, the 30-year-old opposite middle blocker, laces one across the net. A little hang and snap there from Hoffman. Outside hitters trading blows. Middle defense mattering. And turning into points.
That conversion from defense to offense is so important, especially for the blue side right now. Slowing down that first contact, again, you called it, it was middle's defense, but then Maddie has another chance to swing. It's way out of system. Nunaviller has to set from behind her, but she is so able and capable of getting those points.
Another hang and bang, another dig. The dunk doesn't go down. That's a tight play there. Good reset by Hoffman to Key's point. Drews converts it.
And often you might think it's not offensive, it's not aggressive to play those recycle balls like Hoffman just did into the block and go again, but actually it's quite the opposite. You want to get your team in a position where you can be as offensive as possible. If it's not there on the first try, recycle and go again.
Tom Comm out, Atkinson back to the front row. Drews digs it over. Rosenthal can't get good wood on it. And Valentine Anderson uses her thumbs only.
Nati was torn there between stepping on her teammate and making a good play, and somehow she managed to avoid trampling her libero and still got the ball in a good spot. That's classic.
No footprints on Nomaris. Another point on the board. Short serve doesn't quite get there. It dances along the cable.
Interesting idea, though, to put it and drop it in that zone 2 area where the setter was there. The opposite's trying to swing.
Hilly with an ace. So they've gone at Nomaris Velez-Augusto here in the first set with great effect. 23-21, timeout Team Drews. They still lead, but they will exercise their timeout as now the pressure could be reversing.
This is crucial timing between these two teams. Who takes these points in the last minute can determine a medal.
23-21, Team Kingdon Rochelle in their final voyage, but the maiden voyage for Maddie in this role. What did she think about it? How has it affected her? And what role is she playing? Let's learn about more as Maddie Kingdon Rochelle as a captain.
A good team is really more than the sum of your parts. Like, it's not just the talent that each individual player has, but can you be a good teammate? Do you have people who can lead? It's your personality and your character that are the important parts of being on the team. It's not really what you are on paper, but what you can add in addition to that. So being more than the sum of just your parts on the court.
Yeah, I remember her talking about this earlier in the weeks, and it's something that is so important for a captain to kind of realize that on paper, you're picking players, but you have to think about your own strengths and their own strengths and how they're going to kind of combine to each other. So for example, Nuneviller and she were a perfect pair on Friday night. I thought they balanced each other really well with the defense of Nuneviller and her offensive strategy. She's got someone like Hanline who's been really solid from the end line. Picking those pieces, but they have to balance well. That's the crucial ingredient.
Savannah, you've run the drafts. How about Team Kingdon Rochelle?
You know, it's really been a journey for Maddie to end up in this spot as a captain. And in week 5, you know, we've talked about how she's second in MVP points in the league. She's third in stat points, but is 39th in wins. So to overcome that hurdle on the leaderboard has been huge for her. She says it was really exciting to put a team together that was my choice. The perfect way for her to end the season. She's been involved in a lot of what she described as heartbreak matches, but has been in a role so often drafted early this season where a lot of the offensive load, a lot of the help has come from her on teams. So now to put this group together, get to do it herself, it's given her a really unique perspective on the AU system and is ending it pretty sweet for her first year in the league.
Give you some numbers to match up with the other numbers you've talked about here, Key and Savannah. Wins in matches. Brittany Abercrombie 13-1 on the season. Betty De La Cruz Mejia 11-3. Maddie Kingdon 5-9. 5-9 has been a really rough ride with the wins, but she's been exceptional throughout.
And that's just a testament to her as a player and how she's been able to carry teams, being that big draft pick in the beginning, but just not getting the wins.
All right, let's see if they can get a win here in the first set. Another tough serve and an opportunity missed. Atkinson cannot put it away. Kingdon Rochelle, how aggressive will she be? No, free ball. Cover by Drews. Hoffman dug into the ceiling. Deep corner was red. Hoffman again on the right. And that ball finds its way through Sydney Hilly. Big point for Team Drews out of the timeout. They are at a set point now.
Hoffman on the right. So I think if I were a blocker, I wouldn't have paid much attention to that right side swing as an outside hitter. So good choice by Nati to use her there.
Kingdon Rochelle pass. She'll be on the right side. Through on top and smartly done off the heel of the hands by Jenna Rosenthal. Not a lot of help in this first set. We talked about the importance of those other players. Nuneviller 2 of 18. Willow Johnson 2 of 11.
Yeah.
For Team Kingdon Rochelle.
It's all about the captains tonight.
The captain is now serving. Sheridan Atkinson, first start. First opportunity in a first set, and she closes 25-22 for her side with that kill. Who will continue to be the difference makers to pile up those all-important win points? We'll see as set 2 gets underway. Danny Drews just collected 40. Team Drews picks up their first set victory of the weekend here on a Monday, and our final matches of the AU Pro Volleyball Season 4. 25-22 gives us a chance now to go into the game with the U.S. Air Force and high-flying Captain Danny Drews, #1.
Hey everybody, tonight Team Perp is just turning a new leaf. We're taking the opportunity to play together one last time, and I'm excited for what's in store, so tune in. What? Smells bad?
Who smells like red hot?
Oh, icy hot?
Icy hot.
Oh, it's her shoulder. Your spiking shoulder?
My spiking shoulder.
It's iced up. Great lead on that, that's good. Maybe serving in the dark earlier has helped all of us. Also, I wanted to tell you yesterday, I totally forgot. If you ever want me to challenge a ball, just tell me to challenge it. Oh, yeah. Like, if you're confident there's a touch, tell me, and I will challenge it. Go. A. U. Go. A. U. Go, go. Yes! Good ball.
Very good. Let's calm down now.
Nice ball, Nati. Watch back row. Watch back row.
Yeah.
Clear. Such a good high swing. I love it. High, high, high. Yes. Good ball.
Oh my God.
Good hustle. Nice defense, you guys. Keep it up.
They did practice in the dark. It was a little volleyball by Braille earlier today with a power outage during practice.
Hey, sometimes that's what you need to really feel the sport, feel the ball, get a sense of, what you want to do with it. Without your eyes, absolutely.
Danny Drews, 6 kills, 2 digs thus far, and it has been kind of a signature left side performance from the left-hander.
Yeah, Danny Drews, this is what we're used to seeing from her. She will go off in the offense. She is so aggressive when she gets the ball that she wants, and I love how she's leading her team right now. This is the best we have seen a Danny Drews team all season. They're finding ways to score. She's getting that ball inside that she wants, and I'm loving the way that Purple's come together, and they looks like they have a mission.
Blocking again, playing a big role as we saw last night.
Yeah, last night it was the Purple team being blocked, stuff blocked a lot, and tonight it's them turning the tables. I like that Molly McCage is getting back into her wheelhouse, finding ways to slow things down, but the other thing is they've now got Sheridan Atkinson, who is a very aggressive blocker, huge at the net, big part of what's happening right now.
Team Drews on the board. Savannah was there in the changeover.
Well, man, that Purple team celebrated that set win. In fact, once they huddled up, Danny Drews said, the curse is broken. And they are basking in finally picking up those win points this weekend. Some of the strategic things they talked about, being prepared for the push. They felt like the blue offense was successful on that, and they'll look for it again. And then they want to keep in transition the options for the middle open. They've gone to Page and McCage 13 times this game, and both of them have scored twice. They want to make sure their passing and defense is on point to keep them involved.
Well, they're going to have to make sure they keep track of the roster changes as well. Team Kingdon Rishel going to the bench, and we may get our first extended look at 6'4" Becca Latham. We've seen her in a reserve role a couple of times. And now 27-year-old opposite is starting the second set. Going to get warmed up. She's in the back row currently. Kingdon Rishel, that ball is tight, covered by Nunaviller. This team looking for some offensive pop. Nice dig by Lake, a trailing dig, but it's Atkinson who puts it away.
And there again is that intangible of having a tall player. She has been a big part of this net play for the Purple side. I love what Savannah said about Danny Drews saying the curse is finally broken. But again, this team is looking better than we have seen from Danny all season long.
3 kills, 2 blocks for Atkinson. Good move so far by Captain Drews. Rosenthal contorts her right arm for that one.
Doesn't always have to be pretty. Just got to get it done sometimes. The ball comes low. It sometimes does look like a little bit of a pretzel move if you're a taller middle.
pass, a serve, Sydney Hilly. And Sydney Hilly has been an impact player from the service line. That is 2 aces now, 3 as a team. Taylor Bryn's taking root with the other one. It's setters only from the service line so far. Atkinson left side, she'll tip over the top. Sheridan Atkinson back for her 2nd season in Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball. Back in 2021, she was with us.
You mentioned it in the open. She had a lot of errors last night, so I wonder if those tips, those rolls, she's kind of keeping that in control.
Coming off an outstanding season in Greece, there's a block from Drews. Atkinson is going to go to the Grand Rapids Rise of Professional Volleyball Federation in their 2nd season. Team Drews 4-2. So much opportunity for young female volleyball players in the United States. You can go overseas if you want, you don't have to. Danny banging into the block. Kingdon Rosenthal with the stuff there. Looks like Maddie got a hold of it. Captain v. captain.
Yeah, Danny getting a big block on her. Now the opposite. So those 2 players head to head. That is the key to me. This interaction between these 2 players is going to be what determines who takes home a medal.
Kingdon serves Drews. She gets it right back. This time against Latham, 6'4". That's a lot of length. Nunaviller flies in. Roll shot popped up. Latham yet to really get worked into the offense here. Atkinson is definitely a part in purple.
Big swing there from Atkinson. She doesn't just swing hard, she swings high. So look at that replay there. You can see her going over the tip of the fingertips of the blockers. When she gets height, she gets speed. Perfect.
There's Latham, nice heavy swing. Generates the overpass. Ball all the way to the pin, and banging through is Drews.
And here's what I really like about that play. Recycle. You saw how low that set was from Nati to Sheridan. She didn't try to swing. She didn't make an error. She tipped into the block. It came back on their side. Give their team another chance to swing. That's what's working for purple.
It is definitely working here. Lauren Page. Oh, that ball is off the block and out of bounds. Latham, that's how you do it. That's how you turn a block.
Yeah, see, Latham, a totally different kind of opposite player. She doesn't have the height that Atkinson has, so she sees that big block in front of her. She has to just kind of go into the hands and try and get the perfect angle that it falls back out of bounds.
Atkinson an inch taller, a little bit longer reach.
1 inch, that's it?
Yeah, Latham's 6'4". Atkinson's gonna thump anything, just doesn't matter. Feasting on all balls, whistle or no whistle, Sheridan Atkinson.
Staying in rhythm.
I love you for that.
Is that something you would do?
Keep at it.
Whistle blown, everyone
Nope.
stop playing, and you just ape it.
Showing off. Nice shot there. McCage, the rare in front attack is successful. And if you're having a successful season, you should definitely be in the AU Pro Sports Shop. It's on Instagram, the best way to stay up to date on all the new arrivals, limited edition items, and the exclusive merch that becomes available. Go to AU Pro Shop, follow and connect. They're doing a nice job with all the designs. You've seen some of them on us, and some of them I have at my house, might be on eBay now.
Sticky fingers Kevin strikes again.
If you were with us yesterday, there might have been a slight retail robbery at one point. Latham to the line. Tip over the top. Latham is there. Pops it over and out.
It's just the slightest edge Purple have, but something about it feels like the momentum is on their side. Things are just working a little bit better.
So how would you grab that right now if you're Team King Universal? How would you counteract that feeling? Ooh, that was just out of bounds.
Yeah, I think I would force my players to take those balls because I think it was a little lucky that it didn't end up as an ace, which could have been not only a momentum shifter, a point shifter, but morale would have gone down. I think you have to continue to be aggressive from the service line. Force the purple team to do something. We're seeing a lot of tips. We're seeing a lot of rolls.
Did not convert that time. Tom back there playing D. Nunaviller always playing D. Kingdon, does she get it? Yes, she does. They're not making it easy, but Maddie Kingdon converts, and we are tied here in set 2.
And Maddie Kingdon's the kind of player that likes to swing heavy. She's not a Brooke Nunaviller who wants to roll, have chips off the block. She wants to go hard, and she's right now got that matchup with Natty Valentine Anderson. So the more they can set her, the better.
Drews will roll, picked up by Latham, thrown by Hilly. Boy, Drew's close to over there out of the back row. Instead, Nunaviller will get the touch. It won't matter. 9-8.
Nicely done, and a run of 3 points right there. Things look a little different now, and I'm liking the way that they've responded to that purple run.
McCage working it off of her opponent there, Maddie Kingdon-Rischel, 9-9. Maddie McCage, I'm mixing the players now. That'd be an incredible player, wouldn't it? Molly McCage now back to serve. Lake fights it off. Maddie looking for a touch. She immediately calls a challenge, but I think there was a touch called just as she was signaling challenge. No argument from the other side. Definite touch. They line up to receive serve from Kayla Hanline.
This ball probably going straight to Namaris again.
Latham's playing some defense in that right back. Tip, and she's there once again. The 78 playing her responsibility, and it's not quite paying off. Nice place by Namaris. Reset here for Team Drews. That one clearly into the net.
One of the struggles for the Drews side right now is because they've made that substitution, because they have Nutsar and they have 2 setters, which means they're missing one of their attackers. In a scramble play like that, you might have been able to throw that ball high to Sheridan. In this case, they weren't.
And Kingdon-Rischel took advantage. They lead by 2 here in set 2. Timeout, Team Drews. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Baden. Our closely contested first match of the evening continues 34-33. A 1-point lead for Team Drews in the overall. They are down 2 here to Team Kingdon-Rischel in the second. As we work our way into this second set, we have an opportunity now to visit with co-founder and CEO of Athletes Unlimited, John Patricof. John, thanks for joining us once again.
Great to be here, Kevin.
I think all the way back to the beginning, the heavy lift to get this league started. Now here we are at season 4, a functioning machine. What are your reflections on this season as we come to the end of it?
I mean, another great volleyball season. I mean, we've seen so much growth and activity in this sport. Athletes Unlimited has been so proud to be part of it. It's hard to imagine you go back to 2021 and think about when we started out. There was no pro volleyball in the United States at that point, and to see the growth in what's happened here and also around the entire ecosystem, it's been incredible.
So cool that you were one of the first to do it. But the landscape has changed a lot since that launch. What plans, can you tell us, does AU have for 2025 and beyond?
Well, as you know, we run 4 pro sports leagues, and there's a lot planned. Obviously, volleyball remains a big focus for us. I think everyone can expect in 2025 to see more incredible action from Athletes Unlimited. I mean, the quality of play continues to get better and better, and so we're really proud of that. And then on other sports, we're going to kick off the 2025 year in Nashville with AU Pro Basketball. And then we'll move this summer to probably the biggest new growth initiative for Athletes Unlimited, which is the AUSL, our pro softball league that is taking a major leap and expansion over the summer. And we're excited. It's going to be an action-packed year and what's happening in women's pro sports across the board, and AU's just really excited to be a big part of it.
Well, speaking of 2025, and you just mentioned it there, so exciting. The AU Pro Basketball is headed to Nashville in February, but can you tell us a little bit what it would look like in Music City?
Well, I just got back from Nashville, and I can tell you the reception there, it's incredible. When you think about the cities around the country that still don't have women's pro sports leagues operating them, it's kind of mind-blowing. I mean, I'm fortunate, I live in New York, and we've got pro teams like in the WNBA and the NWSL, but you go to a place like Nashville, a huge city, still doesn't have professional women's sports, and so Athletes Unlimited is going to be bringing basketball there. We got a great reception from the mayor, the city council, business leaders, the sports teams, people from the Titans and the Predators, everybody coming out, and there's so much excitement. So February, we kick off in Nashville. We'll have 40 of the best basketball players in the world, most of them who will be in the WNBA offseason, and they'll be out there for 4 weeks competing out on the court, and we're looking forward to it.
Nashville, my second home. I can't wait to visit you guys there. It's a great American city. John, you mentioned AUSL a little bit here. An expanded version of AU Pro Softball is coming. A lot of talk about the move there, and this has always been a player-directed league. How and why did that expansion come about?
So we took a look at the landscape. I mean, Athletes Unlimited has been running a 5-week season since 2020. It's been amazing. We launched AUX, which was our 2-week season, but ultimately we looked at the landscape and realized the women needed more pro softball. Fans needed more pro softball. The players needed more pro softball, and so we decided to step in and fill the void. And so we'll keep running our season in August. It will be renamed the All-Star Cup, and we will launch the AUSL, which will be a traditional city-based league. We'll have 4 teams. They'll play over the course of June and July, and we'll culminate in a championship at the end of July. We'll crown a team winner, actually. So this is obviously a different format for AU, going back to a more traditional city-based format. And then, just a couple weeks later, we'll kick off the All-Star Cup back in Chicago, 4 weeks with the scoring system that AU has become known for.
John, you've employed a lot of athletes in different roles off the court, away from their sport, as a part of your organization. Can you reflect a little bit on getting to know athletes in a different experience and giving them the opportunity to explore their personalities outside of their chosen profession?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when Jonathan Soros and I started Athletes Unlimited, and we met Sherry Kemp very early in that process, it was Sherry's idea to bring a group of players to New York to meet with us to talk about what we were thinking about doing in softball. And that meeting in October of 2019 was pivotal to the entire trajectory that AU took, because we came out of that meeting with so much insight. It was a day long in the city, and so much insight and kind of knowledge that they were able to share. And we said, we got to keep working side by side with the players. Forget us being business people or coming from the sports industry thinking we know what's best. Let's partner with the athletes and really build something together. That launched the Player Executive Committee, which has now been the main structure for governance. We've got athletes on the board of directors. but really getting to know the players on and off the court. We've just learned so much from them, and really, I think anybody who's starting a pro sports league or going into any business, you should be talking to the athletes, the people who know what is actually happening on the ground, and also bring the vision for the sport. And so we've been really fortunate. It's really helped Athletes Unlimited, and I think as a result, hopefully we're creating a platform that the athletes can do what they do best, but also on the court as well as off the court.
Of all the monumental successes this league has had, John, as an ex-athlete, this is hugely important, giving people an opportunity to explore what will be their future, what they will do later in life. Thanks for joining us here. We look forward to seeing you later tonight.
Thank you both.
All right. Checking in with John Patrikoff, co-founder and CEO of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball, reaching a milestone this year. It's 500th competition played, and that came during our season here for volleyball, but that was sports-wide, and they've been putting together broadcasts, increasing the visibility of women's sports, and putting together an incredible elite cachet of footage. Key, you're a big part of that as well.
I mean, I love that I'm part of this. I'm thankful every single day, but I remember back to season 1, and I remember it was Cassie Lickman's words saying she couldn't wait until it was the norm that we had professional volleyball, because in that moment, we were kind of breaking history, making history. John was a big part of that. And it's just fantastic that we actually talk about it, because now it is the norm. It's awesome.
Yeah, people like to beat on athletes a little bit for not being able to find themselves after sport. It is a unique challenge in life to do something with such focus and all of your energy, and then be asked to completely change in midlife what it is you do. And John providing an opportunity for athletes to explore that as they are coming towards the end of their career or during. Back to action here, 16-13. Team Drews on the defensive all of a sudden, Key. We're 38-38 in that overall score that you need to start following right now for those 60 team points.
Yeah, lots happened since we've been chatting, but that is what we love about this league, is that every single moment, every single ball that gets touched can contribute to a medal or the loss of a medal here today.
Kayla Hanline contributing, fighting her way through a little bit of a cold yesterday, and joining us today. What a season it's been for Kayla.
Yeah, she's one of those newcomers we talked about being a big impact, and how the level just continues to grow and grow in every single position. And Kayla Hanline's been so offensive, also given a lot in the defense as well, and you're seeing it in the results here tonight.
Yeah, pro since 2017, came into the weekend 5th in blocks. She's been adding to that. There's a cross-court winner for Molly McCade. She is the leader in blocks, and also offensive, a complete middle in number 5.
And also someone who's been given a lot from volleyball, from being part of this league, part of the player executive committee, a big part of the decisions that get made behind the scenes, and it's awesome.
Handline backslide. A middles battle is broken out, and Key Michaels dancing. Look out.
It's our world, Kevin.
I'm just laughing thinking about the middles league. That'd make me be fine entertainment.
I'm going to chat to John about that. He might go for it.
Ripe for social. Oh my goodness. Look out below.
This is the value of adding middle to your offense. I was talking to Molly about this before the match, and in this league in particular, because the setters are really trying to connect with their attackers, they don't want to lose points on a poor set, you just don't get as much middle attack as you do in some other leagues.
Drews just wide. Opportunity missed there. If you caught it, if you're inside volleyball quite a bit, Key, and then you definitely caught this with McCage on that last back slide. Very interesting attack pattern. She was deep in the court and almost coming straight at the net versus going across the net, but hitting that same set.
Yeah, there's different theories behind how you want to come at that ball. Do you want to go in kind of like I like to call it a dog leg approach, where you go side to the net and then towards it, or do you go towards your setter and then across the net? There's different ways to do it, different styles. Molly can do probably both and equally well. And
often dictated by the play itself. The ball officially ruled out, challenged here by Team Drews. And Key, you're taking a look here. Are you going up the leaderboard or down? It all will be determined by your answer right now.
Looks like it might have tagged the line.
Okay.
But I think I've said that a couple times already.
So you're going within?
I'm going in.
Okay.
Going in.
All right, well, Katie Meyer, our R2, will determine whether Key goes positive or negative and up or down the leaderboard, as our players do throughout. This leaderboard live updated, one of the very unique things about AU Pro Sports and AU Pro Volleyball particularly, the role of this individual and team leaderboard.
And it's interesting to hear John talk about them going back to a more traditional format. They're trying this leaderboard, and now they're going back to a more traditional format of that softball league because they're listening to the athletes. We spoke about this on the ride over here, that it's not just about here's what we're doing and make it work. It's, hey, athletes, what do you like about this? What do you not like? How can we adjust it? And year over year, Athletes Unlimited is finding ways to listen to the voices of the athletes and make decisions based on that. Question was ball in or out? Answer was out. Incorrect, Key.
Oh boy, negative points. You better hope to get an ace or something here, Key. You better predict an ace, and we'll give you plus 12 for that.
Thank you.
Hand line at the line. Here's a chance. Page punches that one forward.
And here's why you don't get as much middles offense. The ball isn't going perfectly on the head of the setter all the time. So that's a perfect example of when to use your setter. Add that speed, let her get involved. Maybe the serving is becoming a little less aggressive as we go.
Kingdon Ruschel. Soft touched up. Oh, that misconnection there. Can they take advantage? Latham breaks out the pause. And her captain delivers. 2016, big transition there to keep applying a lot of pressure here to Team Drews. That overall score now 42-41, Team Kingdon Ruschel.
And remember, we said the purple team had to be near enough perfect for Drews to be able to get a medal. They lose this set here. Those dreams might be shifting, vanishing.
Yeah, championship chase impact right now. Overhead. Kingdon Ruschel inside again. Back-to-back kills from the cap. Well, she was stellar on Friday night. She's recapturing some of that form here in set 2.
And even from an out of system, bump set over the shoulder of the libero, goes inside the arm of the blockers. Beautifully done.
Atkinson, deep corner winner. So getting out of row 1 there, but Team Drews giving up a couple. Was it too many?
Having a look at some of the numbers again, Kingdon Ruschel with 12 points. Next closest, Jenna Rosenthal with 7. So the outsides and the pins on the blue side not delivering tonight.
Not yet anyway. That ball chipped inside. The captain delivers again. Sometimes, Key, you just have to go and do something yourself.
Well, that's what we said in the open, right? Whoever, as a captain, picks themselves up by the bootstraps after last night will get themselves on the board.
Did she serve an ace right here? No, not yet. That ball is saved, but Danny Drews is in the net. You cannot go fishing and not get called for it here. Kingdon will collect the ace there. Key, that was a chance for you to predict it and score points. Now it's a timeout for Team Drews, who all of a sudden is down 45-42 in the overall score. And that could be huge. Mentioned how big those points were. Kingdon trying to score a couple at the end. They got one back at the end of set number 1. Here they're now in control. So this is match number 1 of 2 on the evening, and the next one has been our usual Monday tilt. Betania de la Cruz, the Big Beth, taking on Brittany Abercrombie. Team Abercrombie has been dominant in that relationship thus far.
Yeah, won the first 2 times, but Betty got some revenge last time. So the question is going to be, who shows up tonight in terms of those captains? Abercrombie has been stellar all season long. She's sitting in that first position for good reason. It's all about her consistency. She's athletic, we know that, but she puts together teams that are so gritty, so fiery, and so determined to win to the very last point. And that's, I think, been the difference maker, is that those teams do not ever give up.
You look at the overall numbers coming out of last night. Betania de la Cruz Mejia, kind of a quiet night. Did not have a set for quite some time. 10 kills, hit 450, so incredibly efficient, just not that many opportunities. On the other side, kind of quiet to start as well was Brittany Abercrombie. 14 kills, hit 333, which is just above her season average at 309. Pretty nice. That'll be 9:30 Eastern on FanDuel Sports Network as we finish up our Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball season. So much going on in the world of volleyball, and a new president and CEO for USA Volleyball just named John Spera, taking the job after much success on the men's side, coaching internationally, as well as back-to-back national titles at UCLA, his alma mater. He won a number of titles at UC Irvine before that, and now tasked with leading USA Volleyball into the future.
I love that he's here. His first outing as president, coming to shake some hands, kiss some babies at Athletes Unlimited. Perfect place to do it. And I think he's been impressed with what he's seen here. We'll get a chance to speak to him after the game, hopefully, but I love that he's showing his support for Athletes Unlimited just by being here.
Yeah, I asked if I could hold the scepter for a little while. John said no, and I had backed up and let it be. All right, Savannah with more.
The last 2 timeouts this purple team has called, it has really come down to trying to calm this team back down. One of the things that the captain, Danny Drews, pointed out is sometimes it feels like our reactions are a little frantic. So let's just move through these points and these sets. Another thing they called out too is communication. So as you see these substitutions coming in and out, as Sheridan Atkinson moves to the back row, we're going to see Nutsara Tomcom come back in. She wanted to make sure that communication is clear. Who is taking the next ball? Who is calling it? Because those are the situations they don't want to lose points, especially here as the second point winds down.
Yeah, they're trying to hang on here in the second set, 23-18. Good pass from Lake, right side. Latham, a lot of trust there. Latham, who subbed in the start of this set. Atkinson, both teams playing with new opposites who haven't played too much. Rosenthal, joust, cannot put it down. Drew's reading. Lake, where do you go? Back row to the captain for the winner. They are at the precipice of a set win and 40 team points.
Huge turn of events here. I mean, I was looking at first set thinking purple was looking extremely strong, but I'm not surprised that we've had this response from the captain of the blue side. This is what she's done all season long.
46-43 in that overall margin. They would love to close with a 4-point lead. They send Taylor Bruns-Tegenrud from the bullpen. Atkinson, a high swing over Nuneviller and some celebration fire on her side. Second set point upcoming.
Atkinson's been a breath of fresh air tonight. Not getting her full playing time all the way around, but I think that's for the best. She's not getting utilized in the defense. She can just do what her strength is, and that's all things at the net.
Well north of 300. Atkinson, as I wait for the numbers to update. Now with 8 kills. Trying to close out the set. Ball dug high, no ceiling. Lake will bump set. To extend the set again. No, Kingdon calls for it. Instead it's Nuneviller tipping. Backslide, McCage. Defense from Hilly. Latham, good opportunity. Dug by Nutsara. Finally finished by Drews. They hold off another set point. How big can these points be when we go to the third? Could be huge.
Yeah, it's not about just winning the set. It's that overall score, the 46-45, that Danny Drews is trying to keep intact.
We may be looking at a golden set opportunity or perhaps a clean 100-point set. Latham touched. Nomaris is there. Outside. Drews off the head of hand line. Lucky bounce. Latham off the block and down. Well, here we go, Key. 25-20. Kingdon picks up the set. Look at that overall score. 47-45. Kingdon with the advantage. That means if it is a deuce set, we will be in a golden set situation. A third set for 100 points coming up.
Watch you fly, touch the sky, rise up so high. You must be supernatural. Fly, touch the sky, rise up so high.
End of season honors. Potential podium spots all hang in the balance here in the third set. We have split the first two, and we arrive in the third, 47-45. Team Kingdon Rishel with the slight advantage on the strength, Key Michael, of their performance in that second set, and particularly the performance by their captain. Now 13 kills, 9 digs, and 1 ace.
Maddie Kingdon Rishel has been nothing short of incredible all season long, and she continues to impress. Now that she is within grasp of a medal, she didn't get those win points in the early start of this season, but she's put together a team today that is turning things around after a slow start in the first set. Purple came out firing. She has single-handedly brought this blue side back into contention.
Stats through 2 sets, pretty consistent serving here. Just 4 errors to go on those 6 aces combined.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the stat between the blue side, 4 aces to 1 error. That's what you want. They are putting that ratio in the perfect balance, and it looked like Drew's side was more aggressive in the serve in the first set. Now it's the other way around. Team Kingdon Rishel is forcing difficult situations on the purple side. They're just not really able to score at will like they were in the first set. We saw a lot of recycle plays, but those were just not working in the second.
Kayla Hanlon has chipped in 4 of 5 to go with 2 digs, and some of those have turned into points directly from her platform into a swing. I'm Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael and Savannah Collins on the sidelines. What's at stake here? Well, it is spots on the podium. Top 4 get medals. There's gold, silver, pair of bronze to go, as well as end of season bonuses. And of course, the glory of being an Athletes Unlimited Volleyball champion. We have Team Abercrombie taking on Team De La Cruz Mejia coming up later. This is our first of 2 matches. 100 team points remain. 60 for the overall, 40 for the win in the third set as we get underway with a Lauren Page kill. It all hangs in the balance here. If we are tied in the aggregate score, that score you're watching right now at 47-46, we will go to a golden set. We'll cover that. It's quick, it's fun, it's exciting. And we've had it a few times this year. It could happen again. Kingdon Rishel sees service and a set. Blasts it. A little tempo to the right.
And I'm curious why there's an open net. Of course, it has to do with that ball being in a good position, the setter having opportunities. But if you're blocking on the purple side and you're looking at the same stats we are, you cannot leave Maddie Kingdon Rishel with a one-on-one.
Atkinson has been a revelation for Team Drews here at the opposite spot. Sheridan now 9 kills, hitting about 350. She has a pair of blocks to go along with that offensive output.
Yep, they're using her perfectly at her strengths. Hide at the net, let her block, let her get the tight balls, let her go over and around the blockers in front of her, get her out of the backcourt. It's a perfect situation.
Nice bump set there. Oh, but a miss by Nunneviller, who's having a frustrating evening on the left-hand side. Nunneviller is going to find herself close to negative territory. 4 kills, 3 errors on 29.
And she was my question mark coming in because only 4 points and negative hitting percentage in last night's match. I thought she might turn it around, have something different to show tonight. Not yet.
Sometimes tough to get back in that rhythm. Overhead, here's Atkinson. She's been in rhythm. Snaps it over the top and is dug. They take out the setter. Hoffman will step in. And Drews doesn't care who sets her, as long as it's in the right spot. 4-1.
And that's the point, in the right spot, because you saw that ball just before go to Nunneviller way off the net, way out of system. She's not really able to swing on it. So that's got a lot to do why she hasn't gotten her rhythm, why she hasn't been getting points. The ball's just not in the right spot for her.
Another transition opportunity. Into the middle, a little low to McCabe.
You gotta have both. You gotta have speed and you gotta have height. If you have just one of them, it's really not enough.
Jenna Rosenthal keeps Team Drews off the net, but cannot keep them from scoring. Atkinson rolling high line.
What I like about Atkinson's performance tonight is she's cut down on those errors. We spoke about it a little bit in the first set. She was swinging into blocks and kind of blindly just trying to prove herself in the first night. that she got on court. Now she's being a little smarter.
Drews straight down. 6-2 with Drews terminating that one. If you want to get a Danny Drews autograph, and in fact, an autograph from all other 43 athletes in AU Pro Volleyball, go ahead and register, auprosports.com/enter to register today to win a volleyball autographed by all 44 players. Easy side out there.
I think I have an autograph ball from every season. That's my mini flex of the night.
Mini flex?
Yeah.
Wait till you see my flex merce later. That misconnection there might go against Hilly as she sets short of Kayla Hanline. And Team Drews extends their lead. Look at that overall, 52-50, as well as the lead in the set. That would be 100 team points and hugely consequential on the leaderboard for Danny Drews. Right back to Hanline, backslide, terminates that one. Why is that so tough to defend for a left front blocker, the backslide?
You got to pay attention to the speed. You got to pay attention to where the attacker is contacting the ball. And because it's moving so fast, you can't be throwing your arms and kind of flailing. So you got to get there at the same time as the attacker, almost beat them. And that's tough to do.
Well, they got a touch there. Both liberos with digs in this rally. Working off the block, Hoffman off of Hanline.
I am happy that Molly's getting more sets. We talked about the middle's not getting a whole lot of offensive action. She's had 19 sets tonight.
7 kills on those 19 sets. And looking at Lauren Page, she's 5 of 7, which tells you you should get the ball more to Lauren Page.
Yeah.
She's in the front row now. Will Natalia Valentin Anderson go to the middle? Starts with a pass or a serve into the net. (9-5). Nati to the back row. 3 hitters in the front row: Hoffman, Page, and Atkinson. Tough serve and an ace for the 2-7.
Oh, that's a clutch one as well. On one of the most stable passers in the league. Straight down the line to Maddie Kingdon making her move. It drops straight out of the air.
Perfect pass this time. Thrown back by Atkinson. 6'5" with long arms. Impactful. That ball then hit into the net, so Sheridan Atkinson, an outsized role here on the final match for Team Drews in 2024.
And it kind of makes you wonder why we haven't seen more of her this season. Yes, she's been a little up and down, but these are the kind of numbers that an opposite should be scoring, right? We see Brittany Abercrombie as one of the better attackers in the league, but when you have someone so tall like this, that is a weapon, even not in the attack. I mean, you saw her just grab that ball and throw it back down. You can't get that out of an average size opposite.
You and I talked yesterday, we were really surprised not to see her start. There was a quicker hook. She arrived earlier, but I think we both agreed we'd like to have seen her start. Team Kingdon Richel has challenged the result of the last play. I believe they're looking for a touch on that final swing. We had a better angle on it perhaps than they did. Key Michael, what do you think? Was that ball touched, that second swing?
So it swung into the net, and I think Paige was the only one who jumped in the vicinity. And oftentimes, and I say because of physics, the ball often swings into the net, and you're probably gonna get a touch on the arms. I think Paige was trying to convince the referees there that she didn't, but in all reality, 9 times out of 10 you do, and I think she did.
The call is reversed, and since the ball was played up, you're gonna end up with a replay. First challenge for Team Kingdon. You get 2 challenges per team per set. That captain's challenge is gone. They have 1 remaining here in our final stanza. Atkinson will be looking for a full stuff block this time. Valentin Anderson already 1 ace. Tough pass. Kingdon Richel dug up by the law firm. And then chipped. Hoffman. Volleyball IQ going up.
Yeah, it's interesting. We spoke to Hoffman, or I spoke to Hoffman yesterday about being used more as a reception player, more on the defense, really stable in the backcourt. But she said, I'm an offensive player by trade. This is what I love to do, and I've always done. I'll do whatever teams need from me, but typically I love to swing.
Nomaris with another nice play. Atkins trying to finish it off. Yes, she does. Off one pin blocker, off the other pin blocker. Team Drews working the edges to great success. 12-5. Team Drews has forced Team Kingdon into a timeout. They lead 57-52. 100 points within sight.
Hey guys, I'm Willow. I'm here with Maddie's Patties. Last game night, championship night. We're ready to take on Danny Drews. We're super excited. Let's go out and have fun. Woo! Don't you want me, baby? I gotta bring my grunt out tonight. It's been like MIA. Hi-ya! Down, oi! Up! Down. Brick walls back, baby, let's go! Good job. Can we redo that? Huh? Sorry.
Where's the grunt? Bring it back, Willow. We love the grunt.
Willow Johnson currently in a different role, but she's had herself a nice season again here at Athletes Unlimited, returning for her third year. Was originally in the founding season in 21, unable to finish, finished last year the entire time, and she's finished this year the entire time. Been an impactful presence and a high draft pick. Natalia Valentin-Anderson and Team Drews here. Still serving down the line, still scoring. A little rip there on the inside, and it's successful. Different tempo, different place for Maddie Kingdon. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael and Savannah Collins. Thanks for watching our first match here. We're in set 3. Keep an eye on that overall score, 57-53. The captains chasing for leaderboard spots and podium positions. The medals being given out tonight. That ball dug high in the middle. And then blasted inside again. Kingdon under the winner.
It does start to feel that Kingdon is trying to kind of carry her team up a mountain alone. I'm not seeing the numbers from anyone except her. She's got 17 points. No one else in double digits right now for her side.
She'll get another shot here, way off the net. Reset. Latham with a blast, but it's dug by Drews. Nunaviller into the campfire in front of Atkinson.
Okay, that's clever. That's what we're used to seeing from Nunnemiller. A little bit of IQ from the swing. She's not having her best day in offense, so cheat code. Get the opposite on the floor, get a middle on the floor, find a way to get the setter to take the first ball. If you're not having an offensive night, you can still be aggressive. Or you can just rip the ball like that.
Speaking of being aggressive.
There's different styles of aggressivity. Is that a word?
Sure.
Okay.
.58-55. That ball skipped off the tape, and it's going to be an ace for Hoffman. So she'll add 12 points to her personal score, and perhaps more importantly, 14-8 now, extending that lead. Looking for the 100 points for her and everyone else, including the captain, Danny Drews. And the live leaderboard is updating. Drews moving up to 5th with that last play, as there are negative points too. You get aced, you get negative points, you move up, you move down.
And keep in mind, this would be Danny Drews' first win as a captain all season long.
Right. Got her first set victory of the weekend. A serve there as that ball tracks all the way outside. Nomaris Velez Augusto continues to have some reception problems.
Yeah, it's not often that you'll see a team targeting the libero, but they're really trying to make her work tonight.
Does she go short? A lot of room up front. Deep last time from Kingdon. Atkinson trying to work off the block. Oh, got just enough.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you make there, changing up the variety of the serve. Sometimes you'll go deep, then you'll go short, but I think in the case of Noma, I would have just kept targeting her deep. That's what she's been struggling with, the ball that's going over her shoulder. The short one, she's quick. She'll come and pick that up.
Short. Middle taken back, this time scooped. Lake to Nuneviller. You're not going to tip on Nati. Overhead. Slice for the win. Latham thumb down.
Well, as you said, not tipping on Nati, sure. She's going to read it, she's going to pick it up. But what she then has done is touch the first ball. So the setter is not available to put up a good ball for the next attack. So even if Blue doesn't get that point immediately on that tip, they're still putting themselves in a better position.
Brunstegen-Root now subbing in to serve. The opposite position changes for both teams. One started the match, one came in midway. Becca Latham now 4 of 12, hitting .330. That's nice efficiency. On the other side, Atkinson 12 kills on 24, hitting .420. Where have you been, Sheridan Atkinson?
Now I just wonder if Drews would have liked to have her earlier.
Latham is attacking with some ferocity here, some fresh legs. Do you give it to her again? No, you lay it off to the captain. Atkinson one-on-one, another winner. 13 kills.
Atkinson having herself a night right now, but she's getting some junk here. She's cleaning up a lot of things that are not going her way. I mean, Nuneviller flying past her on that ball that dies a little inside. Atkinson's having a field day.
That is the job description for an opposite. You must be able to take out the trash. Setter into serve. It's Ara Tomcom. Block, was it down? The women in purple think so. You might see a challenge if they don't win this rally. Oh, Nati, little matrix move. And it pays. Sometimes you're just reacting. Cat-like speed and reflexes.
Have another look at that dig that might have just popped off the floor anyway. In fact, Maddie gets up pretty slowly, probably thinking that ball was down, but on we played.
Trying to salvage Team Kingdon Richel. They're on the ropes. Molly McCage misses, and that is going to be a negative for Natalia Valentin Anderson. Seemed like Molly was way late on that play, though.
Late? I thought she was late.
Seemed like she was trying to catch up to the ball. Oh, you thought she was way early?
I would say the opposite. I thought
Okay.
she was on time, and the ball should have been flung at her with cat-like speed, and
All right.
instead it hung in the air, and so then she's on the way down
Okay.
as the ball's coming down. That's what I saw.
I think we need the old IBM You Make the Call.
What's
We need a
that?
sponsored segment. Well, they'll explain what happened and then ask whose fault it was.
Well, it was definitely not the middle's fault. Don't be ridiculous.
Patently absurd. Into the middle. Hoffman chipping for the winner. Hoffman showing some off-speed success with location here, 18-12.
And just a little bit more conversation, I guess, around that connection, Molly and Natty.
Yep.
So because you're not getting that many reps with your setters in these weeks at Athletes
Ah.
Unlimited, maybe Natty was thinking she's a little bit late, I gotta slow it down, and they're kind of trying to read each other in that split second time you have to make a decision.
Are the wheels falling off? And can they put them back on? They're gonna try and find the lug nuts and get the impact wrench out over on the blue side. Timeout called, they trail 19-12, and that is the set score, so that's 40 points should Team Drews close it there. They would get an additional 60 for the 64-59 overall lead that they currently have. So it'd be 100 team points and hugely impactful for Danny Drews trying to climb back on to that podium. This is just our first of 2 matches. We have our classic, what has become a classic in 2024 matchup coming next, Key.
Yeah, the big Bs taking each other on. One of them is the Big Beth. She has been phenomenal all season long. In fact, for 4 seasons, she has been on the top of the podium. She is fighting for another gold medal, returning from that one she had in 2022. And there's one person standing in her way, and she's got to battle her tonight. But if we see the best of Betty, which we can see on any given night, she can throw those stats into the roof. Through the ceiling can be her numbers, but have a look at the one person standing her way. Brittany Abercrombie has been, well, she's been the kryptonite to Betty's superwoman powers.
It's going to take something special from Betania de la Cruz Mejia to overtake Brittany Abercrombie, but we have seen her do incredible things before. And the terrific part of this is, you mentioned if you were with us at the very start, that this is a league where rivals become teammates and teammates become friends. Brittany Abercrombie and Betania de la Cruz Mejia, friends off the court, spent Halloween together. Betty, so excited about being in the U.S. for Halloween.
I mean, I think Betty is one of those perfect examples of somebody who wasn't sure, kind of just dipped her toes in the water in season 1, thinking, let's just see what this is all about.
In the U.S.
And in the U.S. And now you're going to have to rip her from this league if you don't want her to come back, because she's enjoyed it so much and she's learned so much, and she gets to kind of share that not only with the other players, but also with her son Fair, who is here this weekend. She's a phenomenal advocate for the league, and we're so happy to have her.
Athletes Unlimited champion, a PVF champion in season 1, best server in that league, and an international volleyball assassin par excellence.
Multiple-time Olympian. She was in Paris 2024, continues to be at the highest levels.
Natalia Valentin Anderson cracked me up the most with her elf ears in those photos from Halloween. Classic stuff. Hey, there is a brand new AU Pro Athlete Marketplace. It's a hub for businesses and you, the fan, to connect with your favorite Athletes Unlimited athlete across the sports. As you heard John Patrick talk about earlier, you can have individual NIL activities through your company, through yourself. Go to auprosports.com/marketplace and support your favorite athlete today. See if you can engage them and find a benefit for both. Looking for some benefits here on the outside is Team Kingdon Rishel, as they are once again in a comeback situation.
The purple side have done a really good job to nullify the other players in the space in terms of outsides and opposites on the blue side. Maddie Kingdon going to have to do a lot of work by herself.
Yeah, 6 kills, 8 digs there you saw for Nunaville, but it's come on 35 attempts.
And we saw Nunaville go down a little awkwardly earlier. Maybe a little something with her ankle, might not be at 100%.
Well, no athlete here is at 100%. I talked to Maddie Kingdon. She said maybe some of the young bunnies are feeling pretty good, but some of us experienced players, we're definitely feeling the schedule, the demands of 3 matches a week.
The young bunnies.
There might be some editorial content on there. Something in paraphrase.
Yeah, it definitely takes a toll on the body. In the typical professional season, you'll play maybe a Wednesday, maybe a Saturday, but typically you'll have 7 days of recovery. This is full on.
Hand line to Hoffman. She'll get it back. Tomcom calls off. Could have been a throw. But if you're a setter, you do whatever you want. Drews, nice dig. Delivery to the outside. Hoffman off hand line, but Nunaviller chasing. Ooh. And a put away from an aggressive Kingdon.
Defense, defense, defense. Have a look at this haul from Nunaviller in the backcourt, and Kingdon, Rochelle, with not even a single hand over the net to try and stop her.
Hand line can be dangerous. She serves that flat reach ball. Drews got it. Hand line with the dig. Down the line, off of Drews. Right back, same matchup. Winner down the line that time for Kingdon over the top of Natalia Valentin Anderson. TTA exploited that on Friday night to an incredible evening of hitting excellence.
Yeah, and that's something we've talked about all season long. As good as Natty is in her set, in her defense, she is not the tallest player out there. If you look at someone like Hilly on the other side, there's several inches of difference, and that in the block can be huge.
Banging through the block is Drews. And Team Drews in a situation where they can simply side their way out. They're still +5 on the board with that last kill. Atkinson back to the front row. Valentin Anderson back to the service line where she is oh so good.
Yeah, this ball just falls out of the sky.
Little rip again. This time, Nomaris sits in the pocket. Hoffman, excellent idea. Missed it. Drews will challenge it. No touch call, Danny Drews says. Take a second look, please.
And it's a good time to challenge, I think, for a few reasons. Not only the scoreline, not only the chase, but also Natty at the service line. That's who Danny Drews wants to keep at the service line right now, because she has such a solid, aggressive cross-court dropper that she wants to keep utilizing that.
Natalia Valentin Anderson, one of the 4 aces on that side. Key, what do you think?
Nope.
Okay.
My gut instinct is no touch. My spidey senses are not tingling.
I wasn't aware you've been in a radioactive lab recently, but fine. Noted.
Oh, they only work for volleyball, though. It doesn't work for anything nefarious.
I guess I'll drive the car home. You can swing your way there. 21-17 as called. It was no touch. So you'd have Kingdon Rischel within 4 points. And they would be holding service then. Our second match coming up will determine the overall champion. Right now, we're working on a Team Drews, Team Kingdon Rischel situation that could determine the other players on that medal stand. All right, ball is rewarded to Kingdon Rischel as initially called.
And we talk a lot about just the people that are in the race at the top, but whichever team takes all those points, it trickles down the entire leaderboard. Anyone wearing that blue jersey or purple jersey would shuffle up or down.
Yeah, affects the end of season bonus for every one of the athletes. Yep. Said they should set Paige more. There they work the ball into her. Paige continues to produce 6 of 9. Rosenthal in the middle, Doug. Overpass. She handles it. Captain. No, not yet. Tight to the net.
Ooh, nice.
Lake overhead scoop. Just giving Drews the opportunity to climb the ladder, but one rung up is Maddie Kingdon Rischel. 18's not over yet here, 67-65. Remember, if we go deuce set, win for Drews, it's going to be tied in that overall. We'll have to play off for the 100 points to be finished out with that 60-point overall. 40 for the set win. Nazi with the dig. Inside the block, Nazi with another. That's +5, yes. We got another touch out of it. Could not put it back over the net. 22-19.
67-66. point for point. Every single one counts here. And again, it continues to be the captain who is taking everything into her hands right now.
Little run here for Team Kingdon Rishel. Not this time. A driver through Latham from Drews. So 68-66. They are 2 away from closing out 100 team points. And a big move on the leaderboard. Drews sitting in 5th. She'll get points for that dig. Woo. And that ball's dug out of bounds, so Atkinson pushes her captain closer to 100 points, pushes her total up in this match. Sheridan Atkinson, a revelation. Double-figure kills just behind her captain. 100-point ball. Is it an ace? No. Free ball opportunity. Where do you go? The captain is out there. Instead, it's to the middle. McCage with the winner.
I love that Nati trusts her middle on that final and crucial and so important ball. That is exactly why the purple team were so successful tonight. It was a team effort, and this is the team we've been waiting to see under Danny Drews. The pieces finally starting to fall into place. One of them, Sheridan Atkinson, was phenomenal on that right side. And I love to see her get a win on final night.
Leaderboard dropping in. Is it enough for Drews? She gets 100 for that victory. She's going to have MVP honors, I would guess. MVP 1 certainly a possibility. That's going to push her above Hentz, but not have her catch Kingdon Rishel, and you have to believe Morgan Hentz is not going to score negative for a match.
I think you might be right. But I'm also looking at these other orange and gold. Member Monet, Thomas Ilara, they have yet to play. So even though those purple jerseys have just overtaken them, still a lot more to be said.
You mentioned Sheridan Atkinson in her first and only start in 2024. The number 55 right there goes 14 kills, hits 430, puts up a pair of blocks to go with it in the 70-66 overall win for her side. Finally finding an answer at the opposite spot was Team Drews, led by the captain, Danny Drews.
Well, we said it in the intro. It was going to be her night to take this into her own hands, take her fate, and maybe finish her career of 2024 with Athletes Unlimited as a captain that wins, and she has finally done it. What a performance by the captain, the lefty, the absolute powerhouse, phenomenal physical athlete, but also a great human being. And you can see that every time she goes to talk to her teammates, she has a smile on her face, and she is a perfect example of Athletes Unlimited.
The chicken farmer, 17 kills, 330, and an interview with Savannah.
Danny, it all came together tonight. What were the changes that you made in the lineups with the rotations, and how did they work out to come out with a win?
Yeah, I mean, Sheridan did such a good job for us. Big shout out to her. She came out just swinging, being aggressive, scoring a lot of points, and that was a big difference maker for us. And then I'm just proud of everyone. Like we said, it's our last opportunity to stay together. We can, you know, worry about the last 2 games, or we can just make the most of this last opportunity. So I was really happy that we all came out just staying positive and staying hungry for another win.
Yeah, what was the mental mindset that shifted from this team? Even with the very first time out, you all seem relaxed and loose and smiling. Was that the difference maker?
Yeah, we talked about just playing steady and patient through the ups and downs of the game and just making sure we focus on staying together. And I think at the end of the day, we were able to do that, and everyone just did their job.
17 kills tonight, going out on the win, close to the top of the leaderboard. How would you define this Athletes Unlimited season for you?
Yeah, I mean, this Athletes Unlimited season was awesome. I think an opportunity to be challenged every single weekend. You know, the competition level is great. There's so many great veteran players here, and overall, I think it was just a great growing experience for me.
Thanks, Danny. Congrats on a great game and a great season. Appreciate you. Kevin Key, back to you.
Team Drews puts up 67 digs, so they go over Team Kingdon Rishel in that, and some of the players go over on the leaderboard, Key.
And this is what we love about this league, is every single time these players stepped out on the court, they were putting themselves in a position to rise. Two of them right now, Danny Drews, Claire Hoffman, as well as Natty Valentin Anderson, climbing up the leaderboard right here at the end. But it's just not done. Nothing is set in stone until this final ball hits the ground in a couple of hours, and I'm so excited to see it.
All the players are going to hang around for the closing ceremonies after our next match. Maddie Kingdon finishes her 2024 with 19 kills, hits 380, does not come out on the winning side. That was kind of the theme of 24 for Maddie Kingdon. She has played her way into third nevertheless. We'll see if she stays there. Team Dela Cruz Mejia versus Team Abercrombie coming up 9:30 Eastern on FanDuel Sports Network, our regular Monday. Final score 70-66. Team Drews, their first win of the weekend, first win for the captain in this year. For Key Michael, Savannah Collins, and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Barnett saying congratulations, Team Drews. We'll see you for match 2.